everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Bo and Joe Show. I'm Joe Tierney here with my co-host Bodine Sanders. Hello, Bodine. This is a special show. We're taking the month off of August, so we're celebrating in a big way. We're celebrating Mr. Sanders' birthday. Not Mr. Bodine Sanders, but Mr. Joe Sanders, and we're going to celebrate my father as well, but he's not going to be on. So.
Oh no, we're gonna miss Papa Joe.
uh, or,
But that's okay. We got plenty of Joes around, don't we?
we do,
There's
and he's actually Big JoJo. You know, I have my little JoJo here, but my father's the original JoJo, so he's not going to make it. He's getting ready for his big birthday cruise. He's setting sail, so he's packing it up, getting tested for COVID. And I want to share this out so we can get the birthday celebrant on.
I'm trying to expand my I don't know what I'm doing with this thing. I'm on my mobile device, ladies and gentlemen, because my laptop was acting up. I had like 10 Zoom calls a day. Did you know there are different formats of Zoom?
No.
Like they're not all the same. Like some you have to actually put in a passcode and some you don't. And some you have to download and update. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. So it jacked up my laptop. So instead of waiting for it to total reboot, I'm here, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, you are a true professional. Nothing gets in your way.
Oh, please. So, yeah, let's make sure we got everybody sent out the notification so they can get on correctly, meaning my dad. And it's going to be a good show tonight because it's going to be direct and to the point, no fluff. We've got some serious topics. It may not go an hour. It may go 30 minutes to 45, but it's going to be impactful and powerful. What we're going to end with is obviously the football season because it's back. Football is back. College football is back. NFL is back. So that it's going to take up most of our time, right?
It is.
So before we head off on your vacation, one of the many hundreds you've gone on, man, you're so lucky.
I am lucky. That is the truth. I go on many vacations, and I'm very fortunate. So
That's all right. You deserve it.
I'm also a hard worker, but
you deserve it. So before we take our hiatus, so we can come back, start of the fall season full of energy to talk about football all day, every day long, right?
Right, exactly.
Let's start with the chaos of the Live Tour. Remember, I told you it was going to get crazy. It's really getting crazy, right? The latest is the PGA Tour lost David Feherty. Do you know who David Feherty is? He's a really popular analyst. He has a golf TV show. He's from Ireland, or I believe he's from Ireland. He could be Scottish. But he is absolutely hilarious. Absolutely wonderful personality, funny. He left, took the big money and went to the Live Tour. And now they're trying to recruit CB1. And you know who CB1 is, right? Charles Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get Charles Barkley to come over. So they got deep pockets. They have deep pockets, and they're throwing money at any and everybody who will take it.
Well, did you see the breaking news about 25 minutes ago?
No, what happened?
That Bubba Watson is also reportedly headed to the Live Golf Series.
That's because they're throwing money at these guys that they can't turn down.
Yep.
They're not only throwing money into the pot, meaning what you could win if you win a tournament. They're signing them and paying them to just come over. So if they win on the tour, that's additional money. I mean, you can't turn it. How can you turn it down? If someone threw $50 million at you and said, come play on our tour, and whatever you make is yours after that, I mean, come on, those guys can't make $50 million in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years on the PGA Tour, even if they win every tournament, because they can't play every tournament.
Well, I think, there was an interesting article today, that said, why do the live golfers struggle to explain why they left the PGA Tour? Because it is controversial, right? I mean, they're talking about they've been asked and they're facing hard questions about the guaranteed money, but also the human rights issues. So, it's tough. I mean, some of them find themselves in the spotlight and are ill-equipped to answer those questions. It's hard to simply say I'm greedy, but that's the bottom line. And you get it. It's a tough one for me because, of course, it's a tough one for me. I mean, I always err on the side of human rights, but at the same time, I recognize that people are working for their families and they're being offered millions of dollars. But
if you get a chance, pull up Charles Barkley's quote, because he's not struggling to have an answer to that question. And while you're looking it up, if you do want to look it up, I'll paraphrase it. He basically said, "Listen, every country's got has got skeletons in their closet." So he's like, "Listen, if he works out a deal and they want him to be an announcer, that's a decision he's going to have to make." But when they asked him if he would consider it, he said every country has skeletons in their closet, so no one needs to be holier than thou regarding who they are working with or working for. So, and he didn't mince any words, but that's because Charles doesn't normally mince words. He says what's on his mind. Now, let's not say that Charles is he's not a Barack Obama, right, in terms of explaining things, but the point he was making was well taken. Did you find it?
Well, I found one of his quotes, and to me, in some respects, it's more disturbing than the guys who don't make as much. He said, he was asked about the reports that Phil Mickelson was offered $200 million, and he said, if they offer me something crazy, I'm going to take it too. And he said, considering how much I make now, it would take a really huge number for me to give up my life right now. I'm not going to give up my life for, I don't know. I don't like to talk about how much money I make, but then, they said asking him if he would sign on for 3 times his hypothetical $20 million annual income, a number that Barkley confirmed was close to accurate. He said, if they triple it, next time I'm on your show, the first question better be, Charles, where are we celebrating tonight? So, I mean, he's honest. He's doing it for the money, but I'm trying to think about the quote.
He also could be using it the way free agents use a first bid by another team to get his current employers and sponsors to up their ante. So he could be using it as a leverage. He may not go, but if they say, listen, we're going to offer you $100 million for 5 years, he can then say, hey, listen, and then see what what's at TNT and Subway and Visa and Dick's Sporting Goods. I mean, he's got 5 to 10 sponsor opportunities that he has. So he's probably, I mean, I don't like getting in people's pockets, but he's probably making close to 20 mil a year.
Yeah. And he said, listen, they're making up words like blood money and sports washing. I said, we have all taken blood money and we all have sports washed something. So I don't like those words, to be honest with you. If you are in pro sports, you are taking some type of money from not a great cause. So,
there you go. Yep. I mean, so, but like I said, when this first happened, what did I say? It's going to get ugly.
it is.
And it's ugly.
All right, before we go any further, let's welcome Mr. Sanders, the birthday celebration. Hi, Mr. Sanders. I'm wearing a birthday tiara in your honor tonight. We have our happy birthday sign, so happy birthday to you. I was hoping to get my father on as well, but he's going on a cruise, so he's packing it up. He's getting tested live for COVID on air right now, so he couldn't make it. So, and for him to figure that technology, Mr. Sanders, you have a hard time getting into the Bo and Joe Show group. Can you imagine trying to navigate a medical appointment and live COVID testing? Yeah, he's struggling. My sister had to drive down. so he's out for tonight.
So leave it to our sisters to help our fathers out, huh?
Exactly. I hope we're doing something fun as well this week. All right, so what else do we have? Let me see.
Well, that was Live Golf. Let's talk about. Did you watch the baseball All-Star game or the Home Run Derby?
I did not. I missed it. I taped it.
You heard about it, right?
I haven't, because I taped it and I was wanting to watch it later, and I did not. So you're gonna have to spoil it for me, I guess.
Oh no.
No, go ahead.
I would agree with the announcers and the pundits and anybody who made this statement. The All-Star game for baseball is the best All-Star game out of all the other sports. Now, I haven't watched the NHL All-Star game in a long time. I did watch it at least 3, 4, 5 times in the past, but I haven't watched it lately. Obviously, the NBA All-Star game is just, the All-Star weekend. Let's talk about the weekend. The only thing I watch for the NBA All-Star weekend is the actual All-Star game, and that really doesn't get exciting until the second half because it's all about winning the money, right? But the slam dunk competition, you can wait to see that for ESPN highlights kind of thing. We know the NFL. Well, remember, their All-Star or Pro Bowl, which is called the Pro Bowl, was actually pretty good this year. It was different. So let's give them a couple more tries, but it's still not ranked in the category of Major League Baseball All-Star weekend. But the MLB weekend, or their entire, it's Monday, Tuesday, was absolutely incredible. The home run derby was outrageous. This dude hit 32 home runs, and then he came back his second round and hit 31 home runs. That's 63. Wow. He was knocking them out of the park. But he ended up losing. He ended up losing because you can hit as many home runs in your first, and the way that they set it up is like the March Madness brackets, right? Yeah. So whoever you beat in that first round, and you move on to the next person. So he basically used all of his power in the first and second round, and when he got to the finals, Soto won it because he didn't hit as many. He hit as many as he needed to advance in his first and second round. But it was absolutely incredible. And then the game was great too. I actually watched the game. So it was pretty good. I think it's the best all-star performance out of all the 4 major sports. NBA second, NFL third, but give them a couple of years and see if they can get the Pro Bowl back to where people will fall in love with it. And then because I haven't watched NHL, let's give them 4th place. Any other All-Star games that I'm missing that you can think of?
None that I can think of.
Okay.
But you're more savvy than I am. So what do they do in golf? Do they have an All-Star tournament? No.
Well, and what they have what they call the FedEx Cup, and it's based on how many tournaments you win during this season, and then you also get ranked. You earn points based on if you come in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and all the way down. So at the end of the year, there's a certain number of players based on the number of points get invited to either win the tournament, the FedEx called the FedEx Cup, or they all get to compete in that FedEx Cup and then go from there. I'm not 100% sure, but they have something similar to that. I guess you would call it their all-star based on the performance of the players in that league during the year. But now with the Live Tour, everything is off the I mean, it's just chaos. Matter of fact, you heard of Ryder Cup?
Yes.
The Ryder Cup, right? Well, you know, it's usually the Europeans versus Americans. The European team fired their Ryder Cup captain because he's playing in the Live Tour. So now they got to find another captain. I mean, it's chaos over there. So I just thought of that and remembered that. But yeah, so that's what's happening there.
All right, well, that's interesting. And what about what's happening in the NFL? We're coming back, right? It's back, baby. We're what's the big news of the week in the NFL?
Well, the big news is, and it's going to change every week because Kyler Murray, Cardinals, is just signed a crazy contract. But here's what's funny about his contract. There's a clause in his contract that he has to watch 4 hours worth of film every week, or he gets deducted a penalty. You know, he gets fined. And some people were saying it's embarrassing for that to be in his contract. I kind of see it as another way. I see it as, and then some people were saying, well, he probably plays too many video games. Somebody either let out of the bag when he's home, he's playing a lot of video games, right? I'm assuming, right? We're all assuming what happens, the reason why this clause is put in his contract. But I see it as those extra 4 hours of film work is to get him in a habit of doing what Peyton Manning and all the other quarterbacks, especially Peyton Manning and what's his name? What's your boy's name?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. You know, they are notorious for watching film. I mean, notorious. So I think that they're thinking even if Murray is watching film, if we get him to watch 4 more hours of film, it's only going to help it. So, but I would have redacted that addendum clause in his contract because, you know, we live in a society where people will come up with theories of why it's in the contract, right? And usually those theories are negative. I see it as a good thing. I don't see it as a bad thing.
I see it. How do you enforce that, right? Without a big brother attitude, you know, you have to, you know, either question him on the films or, yeah, that could be.
No, he's going to have to be with someone because if you're watching film, right? You want to watch as a quarterback, you want to watch film with your guys so you can build a rapport. That's my point I forgot to make. I'm thinking the reason is so you can build better relationships because there was remember when this whole contract thing started, there was a lot of, you know, what do you call it, gossip that he was being a diva, hard to work with, hard to deal with, right? Personality conflicts. So maybe they're doing it and putting it in there so he can start to build. Because when you're talking about grown men, when they walk off the field and leave the stadium, they have their own lives, right? So you're not building a relationship fast enough when that happens. You build a relationship the longer you're together, right? So he's still young. He's only been in the league, 3 years? So it's probably a way to get him to spend more time with his offensive, and especially the wide receivers. but maybe even the running backs, tight ends, and start to build a relationship. I always thought the kid was quiet. So that, his personality off the field may be even more quiet than he appears to be. We don't know. We're not there. In other words, he doesn't come off as a guy that, get me a quarterback that you think talks a lot. What was his name that just got traded from the Browns? Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he doesn't come across as a guy like Baker Mayfield who talks a lot. Murray comes across as a guy who's quiet. So maybe it's in there for that reason, but the sports media took it and ran with it. So we'll never know unless somebody on the inside really gives up the goods. But it can be embarrassing to see that, right?
Well, how old is he? Do we know?
He's been out of college 3 years max, maybe 4 if I'm thinking right. He's only been in the league a couple of years.
So most guys I know in that age range are playing video games. So it's not. Yeah.
Oh no.
Right.
They're all playing video games, right? And which video games they're playing, right? Madden. Right? They're playing Madden. No doubt about it.
No.
I would probably be the only person in the league that didn't play Madden because I've never played it. I have no idea. So I would be that unicorn. I've never played Madden.
It's not too late to start. I'll send it to you. I'll send it off for Christmas. Package it up. Your peanuts in your Madden.
Nope. No Madden for me, babe. Nope. I have a 1997 or 98, or is it 2000? Tiger Woods on a CD. They used to call it the CD-ROM. You would put the CD in the machine in your laptop, download the app, and then play it. I've never played it. It's still in its case. I got it for Christmas. Never opened it. I'm telling you. I just looked at it the other day. Never opened it. So that goes to show you, I do not play video games.
You can put that on eBay. That might make you a millionaire. You ought to see how much that's worth.
I'll call our friend G3. he knows all that stuff. Matter of fact, I asked him about a Super Nintendo that I had, and he said, "Hold on to it a little longer." So anyway, let's do college football before we get to the pros.
Oh, there he is right there. There's my people. We're just talking about you, G3.
We were just talking about you, brother. Just talking about you. So let's talk about college football first. Power 5 conferences, the Big Ten, right? Taking in UCLA and USC. College football is going to be crazy this year. It's going to be exciting. I hope you're excited for it. I know you didn't watch a lot last year.
I didn't. Well, I was just getting my feet wet with the NFL. I couldn't. Now I have to. Let me ask you, what happened to what happened to the forgot the name of that team now, the college football team that they were the religious football team that shocked the nation, and weren't they in New Jersey? Were they a high school team or a college team? The college team from New Jersey, remember?
Oh yeah, St. Peter's University.
Yeah, what happened to those? What happened to those kids? Did they bug out? Did they go to other schools?
I actually have a friend of mine who's mentioned in my book, who's coaching the track team there, John Marshall, and I talked to him last week. I don't know if the kids from the basketball team stayed or left, but they are still riding that Cinderella wave. Because I talked to not just him, but a couple other folks on the campus, and they're enjoying that win, and good for them. But I'll find out for you. So when we come back, I'll have an answer for you.
Yeah, I'm just wondering I'm just wondering if they left, right? I mean, and bugged
Yeah,
out schools. That would be interesting. Uh,
yeah.
so, so George is saying just got in from coaching football. He loves the crown. It's actually a tiara to celebrate Mr. Sanders'
He called it a crown.
Although I am called the Queen of Coast to Coast, I'll have to wear that at the next staff meeting. My
There you
crown.
go.
I'll tell the gentleman I'm pulling out all the stops. But thank you, George. And what are you coaching? You coaching Little Bryce's team?
He's probably coaching Bryce's team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's exciting. You have to keep us in the loop on that. Um, so
So
yeah.
college football, Power Five conferences. Um, here's where the Power Five conferences rank. SEC number 1, Big Ten number 2, Big 12 number 3, ACC number 4, and Pac-12 number 5. And that's a total of 65 schools in those conferences competing for the national championship.
Wow.
So with the NIL being in full-blown craziness mode, lack of better English, it's going to be very interesting to watch some of these teams compete this year, because a lot of these teams got, they were able to recruit some talent that they normally would not had the opportunity to recruit. And so, again, college football is changing. So it's going to make the reigning champion is, you remember who the reigning champion is? Georgia, University of Georgia Bulldogs.
All right.
I don't think they're going to repeat. It's going to be, the SEC is going to be interesting. These guys are they're still the best conference until the Big Ten proves that they're the better conference. So, but it's going to be very interesting at college football this year. You should be very excited to watch. You will watch a few games this year because it's going to be a must-see game, and because we're going to end up talking about it, on that Wednesday. So, Notre Dame. If you get a chance to watch Notre Dame, you get a chance to watch, obviously, Ohio State. I think that's George. Is that your area? Ohio State, Michigan State. Obviously, the teams in the SEC: Florida, Georgia, Alabama. The ACC: Florida State, North Carolina, Tennessee, Vanderbilt.
How often do you make it to a Villanova game? Do you head over there often, or?
It depends on who's in town, So it depends on who's in town, but there's a couple of guys that are former teammates that are in the area that will call me up and say, "Hey, listen, we're heading over. Let's meet. For the tailgate." So I went to 2 games last year?
That's good.
Yeah, I went to 2 games last year. I think it was the homecoming game or a parents' weekend game. So one game it rained, and one game it didn't.
How are former players treated? I mean, if you wanted to go in the locker room, could you go in? Could you speak to the coaches? Do they revere the former players and in the regard that I expect they should be? I mean, regardless, you're an alumnus. How does that work?
Yeah, I'm sure that there are guys that have done that and continue to do that. The 2 games I was at, it was all about hanging out the tailgate and enjoying some nice sausage, dogs, and lamb chops and adult beverages and catching up with folks you haven't caught up with. But I'm sure if the current coach asked all the players or 1 player or 2 players to come in before the game and give a prep talk, I'm sure they would do it. I probably would do it too if I was asked. But the one game, it had to be homecoming. All of the players were asked to come out on the field at halftime, and crowd gives you an applause and that kind of thing. So, but what's great about our facility, they built an addition to our complex where we actually can go up into like a upstairs private area booth and drink alcohol and eat and watch the game because it's all glass. So
cool.
you can see the game, from what do you call it, a private
box, right? A
private box, and it's huge. You can get at least 200 people in it, and you can just literally stand there and watch the game, and it's in the back of the end zone. And then you can just, you can watch the game. So, yeah. So we did that last year. Yeah. Right. Yeah, because I wasn't sitting in the rain watching that game. I'm like, no. No, I'm not doing it. So, but yeah. So, all schools are different, but pretty much if you're an alumni and you have that set up, I'm sure, if you're from a big school, you probably get treated like you're, the president of the Iron League, so it's part of the perks of being an alumni. So it's all good.
Perfect. All right. So what about the big guys? What about the, we'll go back to I'll go start out with this commentary. It doesn't sound like Gronk is coming back. I know you're convinced, but he's holding out.
Okay. Again, until the paperwork is officially handed in, because he's retired and unretired and retired again, right?
I know, but isn't he's working at the family car wash or something, isn't he? I gotta look that up. I forgot what he said he's doing.
That dude is hilarious. He's making commercials. He's part of the Subway commercials. He's doing all kinds of commercials. He's making money.
What did he say he's doing? I forgot. He said, yeah. Something I found to be amusing. I forgot what he said he was going to do.
It's probably landscaping. It doesn't matter. He could do whatever he wants. People are going to think it's awesome. But until he officially hands in his paperwork, he is not retired. And he's probably milking it until Tom Brady says, listen, dude, get your butt in camp. Until Tom says, get your butt in camp, he's not coming to camp. He doesn't need to. He's going to let that young guy get all those reps, right? So he doesn't have to get worn out and beat up during preseason. Believe me, if Gronk walked into the stadium, into the locker room a week before the first official game of the season, you think they're going to tell him to go home? No. They're going to say, Gronk, what do you want? Go get in the shower. Go get a massage. I mean, come on. Let's go. Go stretch. Put your pads on. Let's go. So he knows it. How many Super Bowl rings that guy got? 3, 4?
I think he has 4. I'm pretty sure he's 4.
He's a Hall of Famer. He can do what he wants. He don't listen.
I can't find an article where he was saying.
I bet you. I would bet you. What's your favorite? A hot dog, a cheesesteak, a pound cake, whatever your favorite is. I'll bet you that Gronk retires the same year Tom Brady does. So they both can go into the Hall of Fame at the same time.
All right. I'll take that, but I like a cheesesteak.
Right? If that's
gonna do.
Think about think about that the way it would play out for both of them to go straight to the Hall of Fame at the same time. Why would you want to retire a year before Tom and go in a year before Tom when when he retires, he's going right in, and if you retire, you're going right in. You go in together. It's a bigger story during the Hall of Fame weekend, right?
Is there a time limit? I mean, can they go in the very next year, or they have to wait?
No, you have to wait. No, you have to wait 5 years. But what I mean by go in right away, they don't have to wait 6 years, 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
The first year they're eligible, they're both going just like Peyton Manning and Eli and what's his name? The one just recently retired from New Orleans. The little tiny quarterback. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Drew Brees. Drew Brees is going right to the Hall of Fame after right at that 5-year mark. Boom. Right? Like the Monopoly game. Go what? Go to jail or go home or whatever that game is?
Go directly to jail.
Go directly to jail. They're going directly to the Hall of Fame. They don't have to wait like T.O. and some other players have to wait year after year after year after year after the 5-year mark.
Which is like the MLB, like Jeter got in, And,
yes.
Yeah,
the superstars go right in, right? They go right in, unless you're on steroids and you got to wait.
Then you may never get in. So it's good to know the superstars get right in. So when, the podcasting Hall of Fame comes up, we're going right in, right?
Well, we're part of the new media, right? We're part of the new media. So when they create a new media Hall of Fame, we're going to make sure we're there. All right, you ready to go through this list of the NFL?
Let's go.
Let's start with the NFC East. Washington, Dallas, Giants, and Eagles. Who you got winning it? What's your gut tell you?
I say Eagles.
A lot of people are thinking the Eagles. I'm going to pick the Eagles, but I have a feeling it's going to be between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Let's keep it real. I'm not going to be just a homer. The NFC South, New Orleans, Tampa, Atlanta, and Carolina. I know who you got, your boy, TB12, Tampa. Yeah, I don't see anybody winning it other than Tampa. And then the NFC North, Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit.
I'm going to go with Minnesota.
Oh, that's right. You love Minnesota. I forgot about that.
No, I don't. My husband does, but that doesn't mean I do.
Well, I think. Did you see? What's his name? Nicolas Cage 2.0. Did you see that?
No.
Huh?
No, I'm gonna have to look it up. Nicolas Cage. I thought I have to.
No, it happened yesterday or today. What's his name? What's the Green Bay quarterback? Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
He showed up looking like Nicolas Cage with his hair long. Remember, Nicolas Cage made the movie Bon Air, or remember
Con Air.
Con Air.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Google it. You'll see. He looks just like Nicolas Cage. He had the wife beater on, the white shirt. Yeah. Oh my God, he looked just like him. So anyway, I think Green Bay is going to have some problems because I think it's going to be between Minnesota and Chicago. So I'm kind of halfway with you on the Minnesota. Did you pull it up?
I did, yeah.
Doesn't he look? Didn't he?
Yeah, they have them side by side here. It's there, but yeah.
Is that funny or what?
Well, at least he showed up at camp this time, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, and let's end with the NFC West. Seattle, Rams, Arizona, San Francisco. The Rams won the Super Bowl, so we might as well give them the nod.
Yeah.
Seattle's regrouping because they lost their quarterback. He went to Denver. San Francisco is getting rid of Garoppolo and starting their young quarterback. So I think it's going to be between the Rams and Arizona. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, what do you think?
I think the Rams. I think they're coming off the high. And where's Garoppolo going? Are they keeping him? Are they making him second string?
They're going to try to. No, they got to trade him. He's making too much money to be back up. And you don't want the young kid looking over his shoulder. What's George saying?
the same thing. I don't know why it popped up again, but
Oh, okay. They got to try to trade him, or they got to cut him, but they can't keep him.
all right.
So that's gonna happen in the next couple of weeks, probably while we're taking time off in August, because somebody needs Garoppolo. Out of all those teams I just named, which one of those teams you think need a quarterback? The Giants, maybe.
The Giants,
Maybe Carolina.
I think the Giants definitely need somebody.
Seattle needs a quarterback, but that's in the same division, so they may not trade him there. But if they cut him, then Seattle can go after him. So let's go to the American Conference. In the East, your team, that's right, Buffalo, Miami, New England, the Jets. Who you got? Buffalo?
But I don't know. New England's pretty strong. I think I'm gonna go. I like Buffalo. Who's yeah.
Remember, Buffalo won it last year.
Yeah, and who's what's the quarterback's name there? Josh Allen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Oh, did you hear what he did in preseason?
No.
This week? Did you hear what he did this week?
No.
During preseason, have the fans come to the practice and they're signing autographs. And, they're doing it really fast so they can hurry up and either get in the shower or go back to the field, right? He accidentally started signing one of his wide receivers back of his neck because he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I really like him. So, and he's very talented. So I go Buffalo.
He's awesome. So I've got, I think Miami going to surprise some people. Because they've got that quarterback from Bama, and they got Tyreek Hill, who left Kansas City. I know George is probably screaming in the background there. Yeah, I think the Jets are going to finish last. Unless they do something outrageous. New England is going to be New England. So it's going to be I think that conference is going to be 3 good teams that's going to compete.
Yeah, I think New England's going to be more competitive this year than they were last. I think they had a slow start last year. I think they're gonna ramp up, right? They, their quarterback has more experience, and I think they're gonna do well this year.
Well, the quarterback is from my hometown, so I'm gonna root for him, if not for the New England team, because I can't root for New England, but I can root for the quarterback because he's from my hometown. Anything in the New England area, people in Philadelphia can't root for. I'm sorry, we can't do it.
And where's Justin? We're saying we're gonna. What is the quarterback's name now? I can't.
Josh. No. What's his name? What's his name? I can't believe. What's his name? Come on, somebody, one of our fans, help us out. What's the quarterback's name in New England Patriots? I should know that.
I should.
Mac.
Oh yeah, Mac Jones. Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones. Yep.
All right. So, AFC South. The Colts, Tennessee, Houston, Jacksonville. Well, Houston.
I don't know. The Colts, maybe.
No, Tennessee. Was it Tennessee that won that division last year?
I think they did. But,
yeah.
I like the Colts. I'm hoping they pull it out.
Well, they got a new quarterback. The quarterback that came from Atlanta, who used to play for Boston College. I can't believe him. Matty Ice. Matty Ice is in the Colts this year, so that is going to help them. And then, what's his name? Our quarterback, meaning our former quarterback here in Philadelphia, who went to the Colts. Now he's playing in Washington, so we'll see how that goes. AFC North, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati. Woo! Well, Cleveland I don't think their quarterback is going to be playing at least the half of the season, if not the entire season, right? Because he's got some issues. But Pittsburgh is going to be Pittsburgh. And Baltimore.
Who's coming in for Pittsburgh? Who's the new quarterback? Forgot. He's not new, but what's?
Yeah, he is new. It's the kid they drafted. The kid from University of Pittsburgh. He's pretty good. From college.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I mean, they're going to be good, but
they're going to do what they always do. They're going to win by defense, and they're going to run the ball, and they're not going to let the kid sling it all over the place and get himself in trouble until he gets comfortable. So Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. It's all about running that ball. So they're gonna do what they do, right?
I'm trying.
Baltimore and Cincinnati are the two teams to beat.
Oh, Mitch Trubisky, isn't that him? Is that his
no,
name?
Mitch is, if he's at Pittsburgh, he's a backup. He's not the starter, unless they start him because of the rookie. They want him to, take a seat.
Rookie Kenny Pickett, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but he's really good. That kid's pretty good, right?
We got Tim on, yo.
Jimmy Sarge. But we know Cincinnati won.
Yeah. But hold on,
Cincinnati,
he's asking who the new co-host is with glasses.
An old man who's trying to read. So, didn't Cincinnati go to the Super Bowl
last year?
Yes. Yeah, they lost to the Rams.
Oh, true. Yeah. The Bengals. Yeah.
So
I think they're. I think they're going to be very competitive.
Their quarterback just had what do you call it? His appendix removed, appendectomy or something.
Oh wow.
So he's got to recover, but that means he just won't practice and play during the preseason. No major starting quarterback is going to play those 3 games. So you don't want to get your quarterback hurt. And then let's wrap it up.
I really like him, right, Joe Burrow? I mean,
he's awesome.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna do really well again, and I hope they make it again. I'm a big Cincinnati fan now too.
No, I'm not going that far, Slim. I'm not going that far. let's wait and see how the season. Remember, there are 4 quarters of the season, right? Let's at least wait till like the 7th or 8th game before I decide who I'm really rooting for. I want to see these guys play because the first 2 games are going to be kind of ugly because no one is going to start their starting quarterback those 3 preseason games. Because if your starting quarterback gets hurt in a preseason game, everybody should be fired from the coaching staff and the front office and back office and the popcorn people and the hot dog salespeople. You don't want to start your quarterback in a preseason game. I wouldn't do it. Now, Tom Brady might say, I'm starting, and he can do that. But I wouldn't do it, right? Only a select few quarterbacks can say, I'm going to start a preseason game and then even play a full preseason game. A handful. I think Aaron Rodgers could get away with it. Tom Brady can get away with it. What's his name? The former quarterback of the Seattle, who's now quarterback in Denver. Russell Wilson can do it. Patrick Mahomes could do it. I can't think of maybe one more, but I only a select few quarterbacks can say to their coaches, "No, you're wrong. I'm starting, and they're going to play." Because how are you going to say no to them, right?
Well, what about TB? You're forgetting TB.
I said Tom Brady.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah, Tom. He was the first one I said. He's probably the only one that could say I'm starting and playing, and not get pulled off the field.
Well, I got distracted by George's big news. I think we asked before where are you coaching, and he's coaching 6th grade, but he got hired. He's now a paid football coach for 8th grade. So congratulations, nice. George. That's big news.
Good deal. All right, I'll call you offline about that info, George. I'll call you tomorrow or Friday. All right, let's wrap this up with the AFC West. Kansas City, Vegas, Denver, and the Chargers. That's the best division in the entire football league, right?
Kansas City.
You got Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, Vegas Raiders with I can't believe I'm forgetting his name, the quarterback. His brother was in the league as well. Denver with Russell Wilson coming over from Seattle, and then the Chargers with their quarterback, who's Herbert, who's absolutely outstanding as well. He's similar to the quarterback you like from Buffalo. That is the best. That's the best football division in the NFL.
I like Patrick Mahomes. I think he got a slow start last year. I think he's gonna. And James is saying his Carr, but I like Patrick.
Yes. Yep. Carr. Carr is a quarterback for the Raiders. Yeah. That's the best football division in the league right there.
I like Matthew Stafford though too, right? And yes.
Yeah, but he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, he came over from Denver, got him a Super Bowl, made a commercial. Did you see his commercial?
I did. Yeah, I like
right
that.
Where he winks about the turning in an old phone, getting a new phone, and all that kind of stuff.
They make more money on endorsements, as much money on endorsements, I think, as they do on football.
That's what happens when you win. Do you realize, someone ever talking about this the other day, Patrick Mahomes has 13 endorsement deals.
Wow.
13 endorsement deals on top of his $500 million contract. 13 endorsement deals. That is incredible. But that's what happens when you win.
True.
That's what happens. All right. Well, listen, let's wrap this up. I'm looking forward to us taking some time off to retool our program and come back at the beginning of September with we got to look at it, right?
Yep.
The first two games are usually, no, they have the Hall of Fame. Don't they have the Hall of Fame? No. Do they start off with the Hall of Fame? Yeah, that's the preseason game. It's usually Pittsburgh versus the Eagles. But we'll check out the schedule. We'll post stuff on our Facebook page about when the show is going to start, what weekend, what Wednesday. Do we want to have a kickoff weekend? We'll talk about it.
Well, maybe. Well, the problem is the kickoff weekend would have to be Labor Day weekend, and there's not a lot of traffic, right? A lot of people. I won't be around, of course. I'll be on vacation. So, we'll think about it. Maybe I can do it on location. I'll be in Patriots territory that weekend. So,
all right.
All right. Well, in the meantime, everybody have a great August. We're going to touch base and we'll keep in touch. We'll rerun some programs. Happy birthday, Mr. Sanders. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday again, Pops.
Tim, thanks for tuning in. George, you're a right-hand man. Of course, we got a Crispy Bacon behind the scenes and all the folks who didn't tune in, but we can see you tuning in. We appreciate it. And maybe in the fall season, we can get some of our silent viewers to pop in and say hello. Eric, I see you on there. Eric Roberts Simpson is also tuned in. And we appreciate all your support. And we will see you in a few weeks. And in the meantime, V's up.
Oh Lord, I gotta do my shout out to Cheney.
All right, perfect, Cheney. We will see you. So, all right, thanks, Chris. You can play.